Make sure to always have 3 things to look forward to. This advice was given to me by a life coach a few years ago, and I didn't realize how impactful it would be until more recently. It seems like really simple advice, of course, like we should have something to look forward to because that's what makes life interesting, and we get excited then about continuing and going to the next few years or into our next 10 years, whatever it is. But this is actually more specific. This is intentionally planning 3 things to look forward to within the next little while, not 5 or 10 years down the line thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to look forward to my dream home, or I'm going to be, maybe like 6 years from now, I'm going to be with my dream partner. Or it's not about fantasizing about what will come. It's about actually initiating something to make you see that there's always the next dot, the next dot, the next dot to connect. And you get to plan out that next thing that you are going to look forward to. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that vacation that we're going to take like a year from now, or even in the next couple of months. It actually, I think, works better when it's a smaller thing, because we then learn that it really is the small things that make a big difference. And when it's the small things, we feel like we have more control over those things. And it can be as simple as, I can't wait to read those last few chapters in that book that I'm reading, to go home and read that, and you plan that. It could be that you have a date planned with a friend of yours, and you're going to make sure that you guys, you've set a date that's coming up. You're going to hang out or catch up or whatever it is. Recently, what I did was I went to a comedy show, which I haven't done in a really long time. And it was in a place that I wouldn't normally have gone to see comedy, so I wasn't sure if I was taking a risk, and it was more expensive than the usual comedy shows that I used to go to. But I made it part of my 3 things that I'm going to look forward to. Tonight, I'm also going to be going to my favorite event that's R&B, old school. And even though I'm having difficulty with coordinating and mobility and stuff, I'm planning to at least enjoy the music and enjoy being out and the atmosphere. So that was something that I planned beforehand. The third thing is that I'm going to be going to see a theater show at the beginning of next month in March, and in an area of Vancouver that I really like because it's artsy and it's very creative, and it has this atmosphere and energy of just being imaginative, and I love plays. So yeah, those are my 3 things that I have set up to look forward to. And what I realize is that when it's 3 things rather than 10 things or 1 thing, the 10 things can kind of get you lost in this. I'm always escaping. I'm always just planning things to get away from reality, and you're not actually living your life facing it. You're just always thinking, okay, what's the next thing that's going to be my scapegoat, so I don't work on this project that I wanted to work on, or so I don't face that family drama that I need to fix or work through. The 10 things can be actually counterproductive to this, the reasoning behind this, have 3 things to look forward to. And the one thing, I think for me, it feels a bit like a scarcity mindset. Like it's, you then put everything on that one thing that you have to look forward to. And it's like, however that pans out, you just end up making it the most important thing. And it might be great, it might not, but when it happens and it's done, it's like, okay, now what? Now what? Like, I love this idea of 3 things because it's simple and it's not overwhelming and it's not this like, let's just get lost in 10 or 12 or 15 things and always be spending time and money and, you know, energy to like get away or plan something. Because the beauty of this is that maybe, although you plan to go to an event, there are lots of things that could happen there that are unplanned. You might meet someone that you didn't expect to meet. Maybe they spark up a conversation with you that really inspires you. Maybe you end up, like at the comedy show, I was really pleasantly surprised that the comedian who was from out of town wasn't making all these like racial jokes and, you know, getting hung up on using his whole act to just swear throughout the whole thing or make everything about weird like sexual innuendos. Like, he actually had a lot of great content, and some of those things played a part in the act. He even said that, you know, racial, like some people just, racial jokes and things should just be put in as seasoning, not as the whole act. And he made it really respectful but still funny, and it gave me a new appreciation for comedy, because in the past I've kind of veered away from it because I didn't like all those like racial, sexual, or sexist, I should say, connotations that I made with it because of the acts that I would see. Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Maybe they'll play a song that I haven't heard in a really long time. You know, maybe I will get up and move around a little bit. Maybe I'll be sitting and make some new connections with people or music or just myself. But 3 things to look forward to, I think, is really important. And once the 3 things that I have planned are quote unquote over, they're going to inspire 3 other things that I have to look forward to, that I make to look forward to. And it doesn't have to involve spending money. It doesn't have to involve going to another city or country. It doesn't even have to involve another person. Like I said, it could be just finishing those chapters in a book because you haven't had time to just relax in bed and read. Or maybe it's taking yourself out for a bite to eat or a drink at, you know, the pub, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to involve another person. It doesn't have to involve money. It could just be very simple. And it should be simple because the point of it is to rewire our nervous system to realize that we don't just find joy and satisfaction in the big things. We can find joy and happiness in little things that are already around us. We just might not have taken the time to appreciate them. And finding those 3 things to look forward to, I think for me, makes me see other things that I'm so excited to look forward to that I wouldn't have even contemplated before. And yeah, it has changed my energy this week because I was low in energy. I've been having a little bit more trouble just body wise and with movement. But I was like, it's okay. I have my 3 things to look forward to, and I'm going to enjoy them. So make sure you actually take the time to plan 3 things, not just to say, oh, yeah, I might do that, or I could do that, or plan it so that you have those incremental steps to get to that lead you to the more, the looking forward to more in the future and the future and the future, and you just keep going, and eventually you end up realizing that you've made this, like, I don't know, it's kind of like this walkway of enjoying, literally enjoying every step of the way, not because it was just, you waited to see what would happen, but you actually decided, what are these things that I'm going to initiate, to plan, so that I have things to look forward to. You don't need to count on other people or other events or other, it it can be you deciding how it's going to go and how it's going to show up. And I love that. I think it gives us much more control than we think that we have sometimes. And some amazing, unexpected things can come out of it as well. Thanks for listening.